say, and it made perfect sense. I was like, wow, actually that works. So I was actually quite impressed with that.
Yeah.
Because for all along we've all been kind of going, how the hell are they going to bring him back? And how's it going to work? Magic, right? I was assuming it's going to be some kind of
Yeah.
magic, but
What? You are
there's the
fucking
man.
joking. You are joking me right now. No, 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 no,
What's happening?
no.
How are
Is
you
my
doing?
sound on?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hey guys.
What
How
the
you
fuck?
doing?
I gotta sort the stream out. Oh my god.
Do
Okay.
the-
We're off the air now. Yeah, we're gone.
No. Oh my god. Okay, hang on.
Moment after.
I need to
right when
compose
you
myself.
ended. So what are you guys? What was up? What were you guys talking about?
We're talking about Wonder Woman 1984.
Oh, cool. What's the you guys haven't seen it, Chris?
So
or maybe no, you have seen it. Sorry, it's
I saw
out there.
Yeah, I
Got to
saw
see it on the
today. So
16th.
you were just talking about seeing it today, and I was just saying how like I quite enjoyed it. My daughter loved it, and I really enjoyed it. I was talking about the Steve Trevor thing, and I had no idea how Steve Trevor was going to come back. I was like, saw the trailers, was like, how does this work? And I was just saying, I don't want to spoil it for anybody. There was a TV show in the 90s that had a similar, I'm not going to say the name of the show, but how it worked. And then there's a mirror and things worked this certain way. And I thought it was, it made sense to me. So when I went home and spoke to my wife, because she was like, first thing she wanted to know is how the hell is Steve Trevor in this movie? And I went, remember that? Oh yeah. And she was like, oh, okay, I get it. So it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean, Sean, Zach. I mean, Sean's the guy. Sean's the man with the hashtag. Sean typed it for the first time back in 20. What date did you do it, Sean?
Oh, the 21st November 2017, 4 days after the theatrical movie, I tweeted out and it took off.
That's amazing. Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
No problem, man. Look, Zach, I'm a big fan of all your movies, and I can't wait to see the movie in March. And I'm just glad that this journey has finally happened and it's coming, and I'm just so happy. And I just want to thank you big time. I'm a huge fan of all your films.
Well, thank you. It's I think it's not too much to say that probably we wouldn't be quite here if it weren't for you. So cheers to that.
I appreciate it. And Zach, I got to see Wonder Woman on the 16th. I really love the movie, but your Stone Quarry logo kind of took over the end of the movie. It was really big at the end, and it was great to see your name on the movie and Debbie's name. And I'm looking forward to seeing the Stone Quarry logo on many other projects coming up.
Oh yeah, well, you will. We were just last night. Our friends were over for dinner, and we were doing like a brief retrospective of all of our projects that we were working on. Just didn't mean to do an audio visual presentation, but it was pretty fun because I was like, oh, you'll see it here and there, and so it's good. The animated series also are looking cool. The Army animated is cool, and so that's fun. It's fun to do animation, by the way. It's really cool.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that as well. Lewis, have you composed yourself? Have you everything sorted?
All I gotta say, Sean, is that you are an evil, evil bastard, man. Like, it was like 45 minutes ago, Sean's like, oh, we're gonna hang around at the end. We're just gonna, and then you kind of subtly mentioned something about Ray, and I was like, people are going crazy if Ray joined the call all of a sudden. And then I see Mick's name, and I'm like, okay, all right, this is really cool. Mick's fucking awesome. And he's like, oh, I just need the link. There's only one more person going. All right, I wonder who. And then I just see this like. Dude, I'm so sorry. That was like the craziest overreaction. I just he caught me completely off guard. This is just
like, I appreciate it. I don't know. These guys are probably like, honestly.
I mean, like, this is just goddamn, man. My heart is still going. And then I had to sort out the overlay because we've obviously not done a 4-person stream before, so that was very ad hoc. And my family are all probably terribly concerned as to why I was yelling. Oh, but...
Yeah, they're like, are you, the door is locked?
Well, this is the thing, before the show, because, I mean, I've got a very adventurous dog, so I lock the door so that he can't just, like, barge in and start interrupting. So my door's locked, I'm screaming, this is not sending a positive message.
Yeah, no, it's not. Don't blame me, though. I don't want to get the blame for that in case there's some sort of repercussions.
Oh, my goodness, man. Like, honestly, I'm going to say what anybody would in this situation. It is an absolute honor to be able to talk to you and have you on the show. And I believe I believe Sean and I, we've written up some contracts that basically give you have an obligation to return at least maybe 5 times if you come on the show just once.
If you appear once,
Yeah,
it's a 5-time commitment.
Unfortunately, you have to come
You're
back.
like a streamer. You're like some sort of you're like any kind of like every app I've ever subscription I've ever gotten onto. It's like you're like locked. It's like a gym membership.
Yeah, no. Anytime you try to like say I gotta get out of it, it's just gonna add on like another 5 appearances. So
it keeps doubling. You're like, no, it's better not. It's better just to do it. It's much better just to do it.
Yeah,
take care of the work.
I mean, honestly, like this is just insane. How you doing, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm actually down because we live above. This is our office down here, right? So, and our house is above the above the office is kind of like there's a hill, and our house is up here, and then the office is kind of down here. And so Eli and I were watching some football, and I was writing, and then I've got some, a couple of things I got to do, and then we're trying to like. Dodie, my editor, was just calling me to say, come down to the edit, which is upstairs in this building. Because she's like, I got to show you some shots for Justice League. This is how then I'm like, okay, I'll come down. So I was coming down, and I was like, oh, I got to jump on a call and say hi to these guys. And then I'll come up and work on the movie.
Oh, I think it's just a movie, man. It's just a movie. This call, it's like a once-in-a-lifetime event. I mean, like, this is an ambitious crossover right here.
I thought it was 5 times, no?
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
No, I've done, like, apparently there's, like, a bigger commitment I wasn't aware of. I'm fine.
We had Fabian on a few episodes ago.
Oh, you did? Oh, how was he? Yeah. I just talked to him the other day.
Yeah, he's doing great, and we said the same to him. He said he'd come back and he'd do a spoiler review of Zack Snyder's Justice League when it comes out.
Oh, nice, very good.
He's coming back for that as well. So appreciate you being here, man. But today's a big day. There's loads of streams going on, and kind of how happy are you to see this kind of community of people come together?
Look, I think the community is amazing, and I think that like everything that you guys have been able to do for AFSP, and really anything. There is a great relationship between anything that volumizes the Justice League. There is a knock-on to AFSP, which I think is really exciting, and I just think that I couldn't have imagined that we'd end up here. So it's pretty amazing.
It's great. Yeah, it's great to see everyone come together in such a positive way, and like there's so much negativity in the world, but when we come together, we can really shine through the positivity and do special things like this. And I think it's amazing. And Mick, of course, has been involved with you for many years now. And like, how important has Mick been to you to try and organize things, or how important has everybody been to you to try and organize everything? And just not even things that you've been involved with yourself, but just to see people who are fans of yours to organize things on their own and to ask you to participate.
Well, that's the thing that's been amazing, is this kind of sort of self-generated machine that you guys are, of course, I'm happy to encourage, and I'm happy to be part of in the small way like this as best I can. But it's amazing to see the fans sort of without a studio, without any kind of like marketing like plan, other than there is a plan. There are like, the plans that you guys make of like, oh, we're gonna on this, we'll do this, and remarkably coherent, which I think is amazing. So frankly, I've been at every turn amazed by the what you guys have been able to generate and what you've been able to do. So really, proud on one hand, and also just trying to help as best I can on the other. So yeah. Yeah, but I think that the coolest thing, it's funny, we were talking about the other day, we were talking about like IMAX, right? And, and the studio was like, well, I don't know if we can do IMAX because, there's not a lot of money for advertising for IMAX. We don't have that money allocated. And I was like, listen, I promise you that if you gave me an IMAX theater somewhere like in the UK, like the fans, we could generate among the fans enough advertising that like there'd be no doubt about where it's playing and when and why and how. and they were like, really, you think that would be, or Well, I don't know if that's really a thing. I'm like, trust me, it's a thing. So
because Wonder Woman came out here on the 16th, and I got to see it opening night, and there was a big crowd there. So I'm sure if a movie with Batman, with Superman, and with Wonder Woman was to come out in a theatrical way, I'm sure people would come in droves to go see that. So we would all go, and hopefully it's something that happens when Zack Snyder's Justice League comes out.
Well, it hasn't come out yet, so we'll see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully in a few months. I appreciate it. But Zach, Wonder Woman course is out now? How many times you got to see it, or what's your kind of?
I've seen it a few times, and it's always fun to watch. I actually watched it with my kids the other day, and they really loved it. And so it's really exciting and fun, and I'm excited to see what happens on Christmas Day over here, and how it seems like a really good movie to open your presents and with the family, turn it on.
Yeah.
Really
It's the movie we kind of need right now. I think it's a very uplifting and inspiring movie, and so many emotional moments in it. But I had a good time with it, and I can't wait for everyone to see it, because I think it is the movie we need right now. A kind of inspiring movie in the environment that we're all going through. But, yeah.
It's very it's a really wholesome movie. I mean, everybody I saw coming out of it was a very small, like, things are nowadays. It's a screen, big enough screen, but we had maybe, I don't know, 20 people in there or something like that. 2 rows are blocked off. There's a few people sporadically put this around place. So hopefully it can do good business, because the people who can get in are getting in. But at the same time, I was glad to see it the way it was, because outside was a shit show. There were people everywhere. It was like the cinema was the safest place. And I was like, happy. My daughter was there. We had our masks on. I was like, I don't want to go back out there, because out there it's crazy. It's a crazy land out there. So we got out and we went home. But I do hope it can really do well with the way cinemas are right now. That they can.
Yeah, I do too. I just want people to see it at this point. I really don't. I don't have a. I would love for the movie to perform. That'd be amazing. But also, my real hope is just that people get to see it and get uplifted by it, because I think that's really what it can do, is in this hard, kind of dark time, give people a little bit of hope. So that's pretty cool.
My daughter really connected with there's a piece at the start where the lesson that the girl learns, that young Diana learns, is about honesty. And we have that conversation a lot around, you can kind of do what you want. You can make as many mistakes as you want, but if you own it, you don't really get in trouble. But if you lie about it, then we've got a problem with that. And it kind of registered in there, and there was kind of, I asked her about it, and I asked her about it afterwards, and she was like, and I was like, does that make sense? And she was like, yeah. So even seeing that lesson in a movie, if all I got out of it was that, I thought it was fantastic. I loved it.
Yeah, and even it stays with you after the movie as well. Like, because with Batman v Superman, with Man of Steel, I know Wonder Woman 84, you're really thinking about the movie after you see it, and those are the best kind of movies that make you think afterwards, and even a few days after.
100%. My whole thing, me. I mean, my main thing is that, that you have to, the first balance is not, necessarily the whole thing. You get the first balance and you enjoy it, but you got to go. But there's more to do. There's more work. It's not just. You can let the movie wash over you the first time, but then you got to go back and see what it was about.
This was something that we were talking about for the last half an hour just before you joined, was how much I have an affinity for directors who are just kind of unapologetically themselves in their filmmaking, and I think and I'm not just saying it because you're here, you are the quintessential version of that. We were talking about all the things where people have kind of said oh, here's a criticism I have against a Zack film, and then half the time you've just gone, I'll do it again. Oh, you thought this was a bit too dark? Well, I'm gonna get Steppenwolf to hack people in half in this film, because
my thing is it's really funny to talk to filmmakers and or to see movies, not really, but this idea of even just in film school, or what will the audience think? It's this very sort of, it's commerce driven, it's a business. Mm-hmm. So you got to make a product that they want. That's cool, but it's not necessarily fulfilling, you can't, it doesn't necessarily, there's compromises that have to be made in order for you to like it, right? I like this, so therefore it's, better. But I don't know that there is a middle ground, where you're challenged by the thing, and that's what makes you like it. It confronts you, and so you're compelled, rather than just kind of having it wash over you. I don't mean to get too heady on that, but it's just kind of the way I do it. I don't really have a super populist aesthetic. Although I would say that, I do think that is universally true, that people do love movies that challenge them, and they do love movies that are kind of hard and a little bit pokey. I always go like, the studio concept is like, imagine the movie is a ball with tons of spikes on it, right? And so I would say that, like, when you pick it up, you got to pick it up kind of carefully, and you can look at it, but you got to kind of hold it carefully, right? The studio's version would be like, it'd be great if it was just super smooth and had no pokey bits at all, and anyone could hold it, and that would be the ideal film. And I'm like, yeah, but it's just not cool if it pokes you like a little bit, right? It's like you want it to. I remember my favorite movies when I was growing up, and the ones that kind of effed me up in a good way were, we were just talking about The Shining the other day, right? We were talking about, like,
so good,
where he looks in the room there and he sees the bear and the guy on the bed, and the bear's like, I don't know what he's doing, but obviously something. And I was like, I don't know how old was I, like 12 years old or 13 when I saw the movie. And I was like, sex was already a mystery anyway. Like, I was already kind of fucked up by like what sex is. And then I see this movie and I'm like, what the fuck? What is happening? It's not okay. Even like when the beautiful woman gets out of the shower and then she turns into an old lady, it's like, stop it. You keep doing this to me. It's not cool. But I love that. But I love it. It's haunted me. So that's cool.
If somebody told me when I woke up today that I was going to be in a Zoom call with Zack Snyder talking about sex, I'd be, oh, what the hell? What the fuck are you talking about? And here we are.
Well, movies, they're weird.
They are.
Yeah, I was asked when I got to see the movie Wonder Woman, someone asked me, what did you think of it? And I said, it's not a popcorn-driven movie. It's a character-driven movie that makes you think afterwards. And I'm sure Zack Snyder's Justice League, whenever that comes out in a few months, hopefully, that will have the same impact on us as fans. Is there any kind of emotion? We know about Cyborg, of course, but is there any other emotional substances that we could expect from that movie?
Yeah, no, I think there's a lot of, like, everybody. I think every single character, I think every single character has their emotional arc, and it's all about how they sort of come to terms with their place in the world. That's really what the movie's about in a lot of ways. They're, the Justice League, the characters they're all slightly misfits, and, they're kind of all a little bit searching for something. And it's just, the relationship that they form with each other is kind of what it's about. But I don't want to ruin it, but I don't think that's obvious. But it is. Yeah. Suffice it to say that that's really the kind of thesis of the movie.
Yeah, and I don't know if you can see, but I have a Walking Dead poster here. I'm a huge the Walking Dead fan. And when it was announced that you were going to do a zombie genre movie again, like Dawn of the Dead, I got even more excited. Have you took any inspiration from that show that's been around the last decade, or is there kind of zombie shows that you took inspiration from in movies?
Well, I would say that, like, when I came up with the idea for Army, it was like, 10 years before, well, it was like right after I did Dawn of the Dead, like literally right after. And so, and then I kind of been mulling it over for a while, and, we wrote that script, and then Shay and I just rewrote the whole thing again. But yeah, I was inspired mostly on that movie. I was inspired by genre. It's like a super hard genre, sort of the thesis of the movie is like, how do you make it like take a genre apart, but like serve it at the same time as best you can. It's kind of for me, it was really fun to sort of deconstruct and reconstruct at the same time. I love that sort of thing. So I think
it's kind of something that hasn't died down either. Like Westerns have kind of gone away in a bit for a while, but comic book movies have stayed around. Zombie genre has stayed around. There's so many different movies. Like, why do you think that's stayed around as much as it has through his cinema?
I don't know. Look, maybe it's because it's mythological. Maybe it's, our fears never really go away, could be a combination. And also I think there's a lot of talented people making movies in those genres. And so you end up with like good movies. So like, good movies make other good movies, I think, in a way. So maybe, who knows? Listen, I got to run back up to the edit. It was great to talk to you guys.
Honestly, this is.
And I'll see you again. I got 4 left. Now, does it count?
Yeah, well, if you think about it, you've got 1 for every hour of the cut coming out. So you can do like a breakdown if you want. You're trying to be tactical about this.
It's this plus 5 or 4. I couldn't remember.
Well, now that you say it, it's this plus 5. So yeah,
plus 5. This doesn't count as one of the 5.
No, this like lays the foundation just to make sure that everything's all good and that you'll be happy to come and do another 5. Okay. 6 was that? I heard you say 6. So.
I don't know. I thought that was in the original verbal contract. I'll have to rewatch this.
Just for the breakdown.
Before you show off, just want to say thank you so much for coming by. It is an honor to meet you, and we'd be happy to have you on whenever you want to do it. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks, Zach.
Appreciate it, Zach.
We'll do
Thanks very much.
Got a few things happening, so always good to come on and talk about them.
Yeah. Well, we'd love to have you anytime.
All right, guys. Cheers. Talk to you soon.
All the best, brother. See you later.
You.
Cheers.
Yep. Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
You guys, you
oh my
sons
God.
of bitches, you guys.